Welcome back, beautiful souls, to our cozy corner of love and understanding. I'm Casey, and my heart is overflowing with gratitude to have you here for our third episode of Heartfelt Conversations. Whether you've been with us from the start or you're joining our family today, know that this is your safe haven where every relationship journey matters. Just like we've seen in our previous episodes, this space is all about real stories and authentic connections. We believe that the most powerful insights often come from shared experiences, and today we'll continue exploring your thoughtful questions about love and relationships with the same care and understanding that makes our community special. Remember, we're not here to give one-size-fits-all advice. We're here to explore solutions that resonate with your unique situation. So grab your favorite drink, find your comfortable spot, and let's dive into today's relationship topics together. Your stories and questions are the heart of this journey, and I'm honored to walk this path of growth and understanding with you. Dear friends, today we have a heartfelt message from one of our cherished community members who's facing a delicate situation. She writes, "My journey into a potential relationship started when my best friend's husband introduced me to his friend. We've been sharing lovely phone conversations for about 2 to 3 months, though we haven't yet met in person. However, my heart was troubled today when I received an unexpected message on Facebook. A woman reached out claiming to be his girlfriend, warning me to step away from their relationship. She threatened to create problems on my social media if I continue talking to him, and specifically asked me to keep our conversation secret from him. My soul feels confused and uncertain. I'm wondering how she discovered our connection and obtained my contact details. Should I honor her request for silence, or should I bring this to light with him? Would love your guidance on whether to respond to her message. Let me share some gentle wisdom about this delicate situation that's troubling your heart. First, while it's natural to want to respond to her message, protecting your peace is essential. Instead, have an honest conversation with him about what's happening. In today's digital age, personal information can be discovered in many ways, which reminds us to be mindful of our online presence. Remember this loving truth. When someone is single, they might be exploring connections with different people. A person with genuine intentions will gracefully end other connections once they find someone special. However, we can't know his heart just yet. Here's what your precious heart needs to hear. Consider taking a step back by letting him know you need space. This gives him an opportunity to reflect on what he truly wants. If he expresses that you're the one he wants to pursue and is willing to end other connections, observe his actions carefully in the following weeks to see if they align with his words. If he accepts your need for space and naturally fades away, consider it a blessing from the universe, protecting you from future heartache. As for this woman, her message speaks more about her own journey than yours. Your energy is too precious to engage in her drama. Her approach reveals her own inner struggles and pain. Send her loving thoughts if you want, but don't let her situation become your burden. Remember this: your worth isn't measured by someone else's inability to see it clearly. You're a radiant being, deserving of clear, honest, and authentic love. And here's one final truth to hold close. If after months of connection, he hasn't shown eager interest in meeting you in person, perhaps the universe is gently guiding you towards something better. You're a magnificent soul, gentle, peaceful, and luminous. Never dim your light for someone who isn't ready to appreciate its full brightness. Trust in divine timing and keep nurturing your beautiful spirit. Now, let's address a sensitive topic that many of you have reached out about in private messages. This situation often brings up complex emotions and ethical questions. So let's explore it with care and understanding. What should I do when a married man comes to me? My dear, beautiful soul, this is a delicate situation that requires wisdom and self-love to navigate. Let me share some gentle truth with you about this matter. When a married man approaches you with romantic interest, it often stems from his own internal struggles and unfulfillment. While his attention might feel special, remember this loving truth. He's seeking temporary escape rather than building a genuine future with you. Here's what your heart needs to hear. The path of involvement with a married person leads to 3 painful realities. Your precious heart will experience the deep ache of being second choice, as his primary commitment lies with his family. Your valuable time and emotional energy will be invested in a connection that can't fully bloom into the love you deserve. Your spirit will carry the weight of waiting in silence, hoping for a change that, in most cases, never arrives. My loving advice. Choose yourself, set clear boundaries, and step away from this situation. Your worth is far too precious to be someone's hidden chapter. You deserve to be the whole story, cherished openly and completely. Remember this truth. When you honor yourself by choosing authentic love, you create space for the universe to bring you someone who can offer you their whole heart, not just stolen moments. For a deeper exploration of healing and moving forward from such situations, I've created a special video that might help guide your journey. You'll find the link below. Now, let's move on to our next question that I think many of you might relate to. One of our dear community members asks, I really need to know if he loves me before I can make a decision about our relationship. How can I be sure? You know, I hear this question so often, and I completely understand that desire for certainty. But here's the beautiful truth I want to share with you today. Love isn't something we can solve like a math problem. It's so much deeper than that. Let me tell you something powerful. When someone truly loves you, they don't need to sit and analyze their feelings. Their love naturally flows through their actions. You'll see it in the way they naturally gravitate towards caring for you, how they beam with pride at your achievements, the consistent way they make you feel valued and cherished, and their steady presence in your life. Here's the real talk. If you're asking yourself whether someone loves you, pause and look at their actions. No amount of sweet words can make up for actions that don't align with love. I want you to ask yourself, with complete honesty, why do you need words when actions speak so clearly? Are you perhaps looking for permission to stay in a situation that doesn't serve your heart? Are you hoping words will fill the gaps where actions are missing? Remember this. You deserve a love so clear, so evident in actions, that you never have to question it. Trust what people show you through their behavior. That's where the truth of love really lives. Our next question. My boyfriend recently told me, I'll change for you. It made my heart flutter. But I'm wondering, is this really what love should be about? Should we expect our partners to change for us? Let me share something from my heart with you. When someone says they'll change for us, it feels magical, doesn't it? It's like they're saying we're so special that we inspire them to become different. But here's the gentle truth I want you to hear today. True love isn't about demanding or expecting change. It's about growing together naturally and authentically. I love to think of relationships like a beautiful dance. Each person comes with their own unique rhythm, their own special steps. And yes, we learn to move together, to create harmony. But that doesn't mean either person needs to completely change their dance style. It's about finding that beautiful balance together. Now, let me share what healthy growth in love really looks like. It's when both partners keep their beautiful individuality while growing together, support and cheer for each other's dreams, find those sweet spots of compromise that make both hearts happy, and learn to speak each other's love language. But my loves, we also need to watch out for some warning signs. Be careful if you find yourself expecting your partner to completely change who they are, trying to turn an outgoing soul into a homebody, asking someone to give up what makes their heart sing, or pushing them to abandon their core values. Here's what I really want you to take to heart. Love isn't about molding someone into your perfect partner. It's about accepting them for who they are while creating space for natural growth. If changes happen, let them come from a place of love and personal desire, not from pressure or obligation. Remember, you deserve someone who complements your authentic self, not someone who needs to completely change to fit your life. Our next question. Dear Casey, I've been crushing on this guy at work for months now. He's kind, funny, and we get along great as friends. The problem is, I don't think he sees me as anything more than a colleague. I've tried dropping hints and being extra nice, but nothing seems to work. Is there any way I can make him develop feelings for me? Or am I just wasting my time? I see the yearning in your heart, wanting to make someone feel attracted to you who currently isn't. Let me share some gentle wisdom about this delicate matter. Here's what your precious heart needs to hear. Attraction is like a delicate flower that blooms naturally. It can't be forced or manufactured. When someone's heart doesn't naturally open to you, trying to make them feel differently often leads to pain and disappointment. Remember these loving truths. True attraction flows naturally and can't be controlled or forced by either person. Pursuing someone who isn't interested often dims your own beautiful light. Your worth isn't determined by someone else's ability to see your magic. Instead of trying to change someone's feelings, here's what your heart deserves to focus on. Nurturing your own growth and inner beauty. Cultivating self-love and confidence. Creating space for someone who naturally resonates with your essence. My dear one, even if you somehow manage to convince someone to be with you who initially wasn't interested, ask yourself, would this truly fulfill your heart's deepest desire for authentic love? A relationship built on pursued attraction often lacks the deep emotional connection your soul craves. Remember this truth. You are worthy of someone who sees your light without you having to shine it in their eyes. The most beautiful relationships bloom from mutual, natural attraction, where both hearts recognize each other's magic without effort or convincing. What does it mean when someone won't open up about their feelings for me? Should I keep waiting and hoping? This is such a vulnerable question that I know many of us can relate to. Let me share some gentle wisdom about this delicate matter. When someone hesitates to express their feelings, it usually comes from two main places. Their emotional connection hasn't deepened enough to inspire vulnerability. They're carrying emotional wounds that make expressing feelings feel unsafe. My dear one, here's what your heart needs to know. Creating space for emotional expression is like tending to a delicate garden. You can nurture it through sharing authentic moments together, allowing connection to bloom naturally, expressing your own emotional truth with grace and vulnerability, paying attention to their love language. Sometimes feelings are shown through actions rather than words. Remember this precious truth. While patience in love is beautiful, waiting indefinitely for someone to acknowledge your worth isn't self-loving. If someone knows your heart's desires, but chooses not to meet them, it might be time to reflect on whether this connection truly serves your highest good. Consider if you're diminishing your light while waiting for someone else to recognize it. My dear beautiful soul, please hear this. Your worth isn't measured by someone else's capacity to express feelings. If you find yourself compromising your need for emotional connection, remember, a heart that truly sees your value won't leave you questioning where you stand. Your precious time and energy deserve to be invested in connections that mirror your capacity for love. Trust that you deserve someone who can meet you in that beautiful space of emotional openness and authentic expression. Your heart is worthy of nothing less than clear, loving communication. What should I do when my partner lacks care and attention? When we receive questions about partners who don't show enough care and attention, it touches on one of the most painful experiences in relationships: feeling unseen and unloved. These moments of emotional neglect can create deep feelings of loneliness and uncertainty. Let me share some gentle wisdom about this delicate situation. There are typically two paths we need to explore with loving honesty. First, your partner may have emotionally disconnected from the relationship. While this truth might feel heavy, recognizing it allows you to make choices that honor your worth. Second, they might simply lack awareness of how their actions, or lack thereof, impact your heart. In this case, open and gentle communication becomes essential for growth. Here's what your precious heart needs to hear. Staying in a relationship where you feel consistently unseen and uncared for slowly dims your inner light. Your time, emotions, and beautiful spirit deserve to be cherished, not taken for granted. Remember this loving truth. A relationship that nurtures your soul should feel like stepping into warm sunlight, bringing warmth, growth, and joy. If instead you're feeling cold and shadowed, it's time to reflect on whether this connection truly serves your highest good. Consider these gentle questions. Are you holding on to what could be rather than accepting what is? Are you diminishing your light to accommodate someone else's darkness? Your worth isn't determined by another's inability to see it. My dear one, if your partner isn't willing to meet your needs for care and attention after you've expressed them clearly, it might be time to choose yourself. Sometimes the most loving thing we can do is create space for something better to enter our lives. Dear Casey, I keep finding myself in relationships that don't align with my values. I say I don't want certain types of partners, but somehow I end up with exactly what I was trying to avoid. Why does this happen, and how can I break this pattern? Confused heart. Dear confused heart, first, I want you to know that you're not alone in this struggle. Many of us have found ourselves wondering why we end up in relationships that contradict our stated preferences. Let me share some insights that might help you understand and transform this pattern. Often, we rationalize these choices as fate or love conquering all. But here's the truth. Love isn't the culprit here. The real issue lies in how we approach relationships and, more importantly, how we value ourselves. You know what's really important? Understanding what you absolutely need in a relationship. Take some quiet time, maybe with a cup of tea or during a peaceful walk, and really think about what matters most to you. These are your non-negotiables, and guess what? They're totally valid. And here's something I really want you to focus on: boundaries. Set them early, before your heart gets too involved. You know that little voice inside that sometimes says something's not quite right? Listen to it. That's your intuition looking out for you. Here's the real game changer though. getting to know yourself better. When you truly understand who you are and what you need, it becomes so much easier to stick to your standards. Think of it like having a strong foundation. Everything else builds from there. Remember this: the way you allow others to treat you becomes their guide for future behavior. By standing firm in your values, even when emotions run high, you're not just protecting yourself, you're creating space for the right relationship to find you. Think of it this way: every time you say no to what doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to what you truly deserve. By making conscious choices in your relationships, you're creating space for authentic connections that align with your values. This brings us to our next question, where a viewer asks about maintaining standards in dating, a topic that perfectly builds on what we've just discussed. Dear Love and Life, I often find myself lowering my standards when I really like someone, even though I know my worth. How can I stay true to my values in dating? Dear friend, this is such a common and important question that many of us face in our dating journey. Let me walk you through this with understanding and care. The journey of self-discovery and setting personal standards is indeed challenging. It's like building a beautiful house. It takes time, patience, and careful attention to detail. You've already taken the crucial first step by recognizing your worth and setting boundaries. That's something to be proud of. Here's what often happens. We're doing great maintaining our standards with people we're not particularly interested in. But then someone special comes along. Suddenly, those carefully constructed boundaries start to feel flexible. Sound familiar? This is completely normal. But here's the gentle truth. Compromising our values, even for someone we're strongly attracted to, usually leads us back to feeling undervalued. Remember, your worth isn't negotiable. It's constant, regardless of who you're dating. Those moments when you've compromised, they're not failures, they're learning opportunities. Every detour can lead you back stronger to your path of self-respect. Think of your standards like a favorite outfit. When it fits just right, you feel confident and comfortable. Sure, you might be tempted to squeeze into something that doesn't quite fit just because it looks attractive, but you know you won't feel your best in it. Start by being gentle with yourself. Each time you maintain your standards, even when it's difficult, you're building stronger self-respect muscles. Eventually, staying true to your values will feel as natural as breathing, even with those special someones who make your heart skip a beat. Remember, the right person won't ask you to shrink yourself or lower your standards. They'll rise to meet them. And that brings us to the end of our third episode of Love and Life Q&A. I hope today's discussions about authentic love, emotional expression, and maintaining your worth have resonated with your heart. Remember, your journey in love is unique and beautiful. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. If these insights have touched your heart or helped you gain clarity, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Your engagement helps us reach more souls who might be seeking these same answers. If you have a question about love, relationships, or personal growth, drop it in the comments below. Your story might help others while getting featured in our next episode. Until our next heart-to-heart conversation, keep loving authentically and honoring your worth. This is KC, sending you warmth and wisdom. Take care.